Alright, welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Violet Hyena, and I am doing tarot card readings for people with perfect timing. And hey, it's a live stream, so you have to have perfect timing to get here. And I do readings for people with perfect timing. So good evening, good evening. And this week is special because I'm doing night live streams because I don't have that much work this week, and therefore I have energy to do card readings. Alright, just gonna post my first chat. There we go. So, please do, hello, welcome. Please drop your question in the chat and I will get to you. And to fill the time between questions, I do have a list of things I can do readings on until people fill the room. And also I have oracle cards I could go through to fill the void. But oh my golly, there are people. It is EA and Caramel Lover. Hello. Yay. I appreciate you. He and Caramel Lover says, I'm going to keep this live rolling. I just gotta take the dog out. Go ahead and take that dog out. I'll be RB. Alright, awesome. Great to see you here in Caramel Lover. Hi, Pinky Our Angel. Welcome to the stream. And he and Caramel Lover says he. Awesome. Love that. I love having people in the room. It makes me feel good. Alright. So I am going to start off with the first subject until somebody puts a question in chat. I'm going to start out with the evening tea. What is the evening tea for this afternoon? This evening, it's 8 p.m. here, by the way. So it's later. And the evening tea. How is our evening going to unwind? That's what we're going to ask the cards. Any cards. Any deck. Let's see what the evening tea is. The evening energy. Let's see what it is. It's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the octopus tarot. Okay, the evening tea. The evening tea. Nice. Okay. The evening tea is the Queen of Swords. So swords are thought and the mind and mental health. And the Queen is very confident in her peace of mind right now. So it's a very balanced evening with the Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's a good evening. It's a really just peaceful scene right now. And that's really good to have. Alright, and that is our evening tea. Not much to say but peace and mental stability, and I really appreciate that for the evening. And I am gonna put this deck away. And don't go far. I have 13 decks. And they all have so much to say that I use a regular playing card deck to choose which one gets to speak. And right now I'm going to take a tea break and check chat. So now would be a great time to drop a question and then I can answer it. And it is a subscriber only, but it's very simple. You just subscribe and then you immediately get access to asking your question. And the only thing a subscription does, it lets you know when I go live, and then you get notified, and then you get more free readings. And I think that's a great deal. So tea and chat. Okay, so Pinky says, am I on the right pathway towards my life partner? And John says, hi John. And I'm going to answer Pinky's question right now. It is, and, okay, and then I will make a list then, since John also has a question. Let's see, so Pinky. And John. Okay, and John says, I want to ask about trying to connect with the Norse god for Seti. I gave him an offering, some water. I told him I hope you enjoy these offerings. Oh, that's nice. Well, we are going to ask the cards about that. So after Pinky's. So hold tight. Am I on the right? So Pinky's question is, am I on the right path towards my life partner? That is a tarot card question. A yes/no question. So we're gonna go through the tarot cards to answer that one. Okay. Is Pinky on the right path? Wait, where'd it go? Is Pinky on the right path towards their life partner? Is Pinky on the path to the right partner? Number 2, 1, 2, the Witch's Tarot is going to answer Pinky's question. Is Pinky on the right path to their life partner? Is Pinky on the path to their life partner? Is Pinky on the path to their life partner? So yes, is the answer. And I'm going to look into the card for more details. And it is the 10 of Swords, and the swords are of the mind. So this says that there's mental stability and completion and cycles ending and revival. So this card says it's going to be soon, because you're very close, you're very mentally clear about what you're doing, So yes, you're on the right path. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. You are on the right path. And that is what the cards say. I hope that helps you out, Pinky. Congratulations, by the way. There we go. So I'm gonna cross Pinky off my list, and then we're gonna get to John, and then we'll go back to chat. And John's question was, John wants to ask about trying to connect with the Norse god Forsey. I guess I'll ask the tarot cards that. I want to ask about trying to connect with the Norse god Forsey. Forseti. John wants to ask about trying to see how to answer John's question. I guess the proper question to ask would be, how can John connect with the Norse god Forseti? How can... So I'm going to open this up to all my cards, all my decks. How can John connect with the god Forseti? How can John connect with the god Forseti? How can John connect with the god Forseti? Great! There's just 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Getting into the vortex. That seems like a vortex question. How can John connect with the god Forseti? How can John connect with the god Forseti? How can John connect with the god Forseti? Okay. I intend to see the best in everyone. You can never consistently motivate anyone to anything. But when you see the best of them and you go over to where your version of the best of them is, and you align with that and offer one signal, now you are part of the inspiration you see. Have you ever had that experience yourself when someone sets you and loves you and expects the best of you? Do you not shine in ways you never shined before? And do you not find it really hard to shine when another does not look for the best in you? So I definitely have to say that the best way for you to connect with Forseti is to worship them and show undying love for this God and just see the best in them, and that is really the best you can do, is just keep on worshiping them as the God they are and appreciate them and do whatever it takes to just keep on giving them that kind of energy, and that you will definitely get that God's attention. Alright, I hope that helps you out, John. Gods love being worshipped. They really do. Alright, so I'm going to get back to chat now. Let's see what's up. MIT. Beautiful High Priestess says, "Hi, may I ask a question?" Yes, beautiful High Priestess, you may. I looked up the mind balancing thing you said. And beautiful High Priestess says, "Hope you're doing well." And John says, "Odin is too tough." So true. So true. Odin is a tough god. And John says, "I need a friendship with a god." You know what? I think that's a good way to look at it. Beautiful High Priestess said, "Hopefully you can see my comments." And John says, "Just gave you some context." Beautiful High Priestess says, "What are Gregory's feelings for me?" Alright, that is a question. I will put Beautiful High Priestess on the list. And John says, "Well, I just wanted to give some context." And you did, John. Context is very nice. Sometimes you just have to phrase the question more concretely. I knew what you were trying to get at. It just helps everyone. It helps the cards understand what we're trying to ask. It helps us trying to communicate with the cards and try to piece together what they're saying. So it really does help out. And Beautiful High Priestess says, "How many questions can you ask?" Beautiful, you can ask as many questions as you want. You've subscribed. You've passed the goalpost. Just ask as many as you like, really. Let's see. How did Forseti respond to my offering? And then I'll put John on the list. Okay. And Bet. How did Bet? So I'm not sure what John meant by Bet. Maybe you can clarify that, John. But until then, I'm going to get to Beautiful High Priestess's question, and then yours. So, Beautiful's question was, "What are Gregory's feelings for me?" I'm going to ask the cards. That sounds like a tarot card question. Tarot card question. Tarot card question. Tarot card question. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the question is, what are Gregory... I gotta phrase this right. What does Gregory feel for beauty? For beautiful? What does Gregory feel for beautiful high priestess. What does Gregory feel for beautiful high priestess? What does Gregory feel for beautiful high priestess? What does Gregory feel for beautiful high priestess? Interesting. Try that again. How does Gregory feel for beautiful high priestess? Much better. Nine of Swords. So, swords are of the mind and mental. It's all the mind. It's also a lot of sharp thinking going on there. 9 is fulfillment, nearing completion and actualization. It's very interesting. I think it's because I feel like this card is telling me that, oddly enough, beauty is the bird and the person is looking at the bird with a sense of awe. Like a feeling of reverie. Like, oh, that's really majestic kind of way. And that is the feeling that it gives me, like, just kind of in awe of this thing before him. So it's definitely a calm of the mind. I wouldn't say it's an emotional attachment, but I would say it's a calm. It's nothing frightening. Just a sense of awe. And that is what the cards are telling me. Beautiful. I hope that helps out. And then I'm going to go to John's question. He's in the list. John's second question. And John's second question is, how did Forseti respond to your offering? How did Forseti respond to John's offering? That sounds like a tarot card question. Which tarot card deck would like to answer that? Great! So 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, it is again the Prisma Visions Tarot. How did Forseti respond to my offering? How did Forseti respond to John's offering? How did Forseti respond to his offering? Ooh, interesting. The devil. I think he knows that you're trying to tempt him. And he's not quite tempted yet. I think he recognizes you as, I wouldn't say a devil, but definitely a person. You are immortal, so you are to be treated with caution. So he sees that you're trying to tempt him. And right now he's wary of it. I mean, he's a god. He's allowed to be wary of mortals trying to tempt him. And that is how he kind of sees your beginning offering. And that is what the cards say. Alright, I'm going to put these cards back and then I'll get back to chat. There you go. Clear board. Let's see. John said, bet. John says, I see what you're saying. And John says, it'll take a while to develop a connection. Oh, I would say definitely. Start with the Norse god and Hecate. Yeah, I like Hecate. IDK about demons. Skeptical about that. Pinky says, can I get one card for SA like anything about the whole shit he is an X? I will put Pinky on the list for their question. I'm going to catch up with chat, and then I will get back to you, Pinky. But you are on the list. Alright, let's see. John says, tempt him with what? John says, I'm just trying to develop a relationship. And John says, I want to evolve. Yes, John. I do understand what you're trying to do, and you just gotta be patient with it. But I kind of understand that if a god is offered something, they are cautious, and they want to see if it's just to get something out of them, or what. So I understand what the god is trying to, is seeing it. So I would just kind of treat it as you're giving food to a wild animal. And you gotta understand that that wild animal might be people shy. And that's the best way I could put it. Alright, so I'm gonna use the Pinkie Pie's question. Sorry, not Pinkie Pie. I'm sorry, I did not mean to call you Pinkie Pie. Pinky Aura Angel. I'm gonna get the Pinkie's question now before they F up their name too much more. Can I get one card for SA like anything about the whole shit he is an X? SA. Let's get a reading on this person called SA for Pinky. That's a tarot card question. Let's get a vibe check on SA for Pinky. Let's get a vibe check on SA. Let's see what this person is all about. Let's get a vibe check on SA for Pinky. Let's get a vibe check on SA. 2, the Witch's Tarot. Let's get a vibe check on S.A. for Pinky. Let's get a vibe check on S.A. for Pinky. Very nice. Ooh. So, he is a knight of coins. And coins are, of course, wealth, manifested goods. So, knights are intense and very action oriented. So, he's going full force towards money. And he's riding his steed gallantly into the night. He is a very focused person on the manifested wealth. And that is what this card is telling me. Like, I see him, and I gotta say, he's got a very smug expression on his face. So, yeah, that is what the cards are telling me about S.A. I hope that helps you out, Pinky. And I'm going to go back to chat and check it out. Boop. Okay. Okay. And John had said after I had commented, I see. I totally get it. Spirits are not vending machines. John there says they're not servants. John, you get it. You understand. Just have a little patience. John says, how will a potential relationship with Foresti go? It's a good question. I'm going to put you on my list, and then once I catch up with chat, I will answer it. The cards will answer it. John. And John says, just because you petitioned doesn't mean a spirit was involved. That's true. And Pinky says, thanks, heart, 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 heart. You are very welcome, Pinky. And then John says, I asked him to give me wisdom on looking for a job. I probably won't get guidance yet. Just continue to worship him and give offerings. Talk to him. Yeah, basically. I think that is a really good tactic. And Forsetti. Correct. Okay, so I'm going to go back to John's new question. How will a potential relationship with Forsetti go? How will I'm going to ask all of the cards this, because it's a god. They could be anything. Let's find out. How will a potential relationship with Forsetti go? With John. How will a potential relationship with Forsetti go with John? Number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Octopus Tarot. This is a good god tarot. It's a very abstract pictures. The gods are very abstract creatures. How will a potential relationship with Forseti go for John? How will a potential relationship with Forseti go with John? Okay. The Hierophant. Ooh, it's a major arcana too. Let's see. Hierophant. Okay. This matches. The Hierophant is a card of tradition, convention, spirituality, a guru, a teacher. And it makes sense that in the picture there is a throne because Forseti is a god and he expects to be obeyed. So it makes sense that he would take the role of a teacher and a guru. So treat Forseti like royalty, and I think you guys will have a really beneficial relationship, because if he's taking the role of a teacher or guru, that would be the kind of relationship that Forseti wants. And I gotta say, what is standing out to me right now are these bottom teeth. Well, they're not teeth, but they are part of the design, but they're saying teeth to me. So what this is translating to me is Forseti wants to be fed food. Like, if you're going to give a sacrifice or anything like that, this particular god is asking for food to be offered. A food offering. That's a better way to put it. That is what this god is looking for. Alright, and that is the message that's being sent. And I hope that helps you out, John. And then I'm going to go back to chat and have some tea. Clear the board. Okay. And Feria says hello. Hi, Feria. And Feria says, what do angels want me to know or to act on? And Feria says, sakura flowers, sparkle, sparkle. Amazing. And John says, that's good guidance. I'm glad. I think it'll really help you out to know what to offer them. Yes, that's a good idea. And then we're going to get to Feria's question. Right now. Feria's question. What do angels want me to know or act on? What do angels want Feria to know or act on? What do angels want Feria to know or act on? Alright, so there's a hint that it should be 2 cards. So it's going to be a tarot card deck with 2 cards. Because what for you to know and what for you to act on. Which deck? Okay, so 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the Octopus Terror again. Very good. I love this deck. Another one that's really good for angels, because angels are creatures that are not of this world. It's very good to have something abstract so they can communicate a bit better. Angels. What do the angels want Feria to know and or act on? Ooh, nice, that one. 2 cards, so this is how we're going to do this. What to know and what to act on. Okay. Oop, this way. Okay, so the 9 of Cups for knowing and the world to act on. So let's get to the knowing, the 9 of Cups. And cups are emotion. And the 9 is fulfillment, nearing completion, and actualization. Of Cups. The angels want you to know that you're very stable emotionally and you're on the right path. Keep going. You're doing really good. Keep going. And you gotta look at the light of everything. And I say that because this octopus is looking deeply into this shine right here by the water. So I definitely think look for the light in things. Look for the light in things. You're doing great. Keep going. It's an encouragement card. It's definitely an encouraging message. And then what to act on? The world. The world. What to act on? Act in the world. I think it's an overall just be in the world, act on it, appreciate it for what it is. It's a good place. There's nothing bad in this, so act on the world. See the world as a collective as well. Like, just, I guess this kind of goes with the knowledge, but to act on it, there's the knowledge that you're doing well, but then where to focus is all this good stuff. Just focus it on the world. Just be that good thing. You're doing great. And more encouragement. Just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. Like, I feel there's a little bit more here. I'm trying to find it. Okay. Bring this knowledge of goodness to this acting in the world good. And that is what the angels have to tell you, Feria. I hope that helps. Alrighty. I'll put this deck away and then I'll go back and check on chat. Yep. John says, and worship. Yes. So all of that, John, yes. Feria says, thank you, Heart. You're very welcome, Feria. And Royal Velour says, hello. And I say, well, they technically say hi. So I say, hello back. And I do notice you, but that was actually my phone notification. But that worked out with perfect timing, so I love that. Hi, welcome. Drop your question in chat. Perfect. Perfect. What kind of job may I have soon? Ooh, that's a very good question. I'm going to ask the cards. I'm going to ask the cards. I'm going to ask all the cards. What kind of job will Royal Velour have soon? What kind? So I'm going to open it up to all cards. See if anyone has a good answer. Queen, which is 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Getting into the vortex. This is appropriate. For this type of question, absolutely. What kind of job? And this is just the information card. What kind of job will Royal Velour have? What kind of job may Royal Velour have soon? What kind of job may Royal Velour have soon? Let's find out. I must focus on wanted to manifest wanted. We would never go so far as to say what the behavior of others is responsible for the way you feel, because you have the power to focus and therefore attract, despite the behavior of others in your environment. If every time you see something unwanted, you realize that, in the same moment, your awareness of something wanted is near. And you quickly turn your attention in the direction of the newly emphasized wanted. Everything in your experience will continue to improve. So I know what this card is saying. It is saying you must focus on wanted to manifest what you want. So the kind of job that you want is one that resonates within you. You have to focus on what you want and be very specific about it, and then you will get that job very soon. And that's what the cards say. I hope that helps you out, Royal Veneer. And Crunchy Cakes 3 says, hi Violet, may I ask a question? Thank you for streaming. You're very welcome. Yes, you may ask a question. Go for it. I love questions. And the cards love to answer questions. And Crunchy Cake says, aw, thanks, Violet. I also just liked and subscribed. You did! Welcome! Thank you! I appreciate that. I really do. And welcome. I will answer as many questions as you got. And Crunchy Cake's question is, my question, what does Spirit want me to know about my connection with Federico this weekend. How do you see it going? It's business related, not romantic. And then Crunchy Cake says, lol, yes, plus, thank you. You're welcome. And heart. You're welcome. Let's see, my question. What does Spirit want me to know about my connection with Federico this week? How do you see it going? It's a business related, not romantic. If you insist it's not romantic, it's okay. So I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna focus on the. And Crunchy Cakes says, yes, you have it. He's Colombian. Oh boy, he's Colombian. Yeah, that's a 2 question. So I'm gonna ask a tarot card deck for this one. Let's see. What does Spirit want you to know about the connection with Federico this weekend? How do you see it going? Yeah. Which deck wants to answer that? How is it going to go this week with Federico? And how do we see it going? The knowledge about the connect. Okay, let me just get this. Sometimes you just gotta clarify questions for the cards. So, what does Spirit want you to know? So, what you're gonna want to know, and how is it gonna go? How is it gonna go? There we go. So, what do you? What does Spirit want you to know about the connection with Federico this weekend? How do you see it going? So what should Crunchy know? And how's it gonna go? What should Crunchy know? And how will it go? What should Crunchy know? And how will it go? It's a business matter. Purely business. What should Crunchy know? And how will it go? Okay, so it's for tarot cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The octopus tarot. Let's see, what should Crunchy know and how will it go? What should Crunchy know? How's it gonna go with Federico? Federico. What's Crunchy got to know and how's it gonna go with Federico? Okay. I know, it's a little song, so we know we're in alignment. Okay, so know that he sees himself as an emperor. And the Knight of Cups is how it's gonna go. The Knight of Cups. And cups are emotion. And the Knights are intense, erratic, action-oriented. Knight of Cups. So what does Spirit want you to know about your connection with Federico? He definitely sees himself as an emperor. Very knowledgeable about his field. On top of his game, king, perhaps. He's on his throne. So treat him very respectfully, and I believe he will reciprocate with respect. So treat him formally and respectfully. And then the Knight of Cups is... Knights are usually fast-moving manifestation. The fact that it's cups involves emotion. It's very liquidy, very watery. And in this, they're pointing me to the cup that is running over with water. So there's going to be I don't want to say there's a lot of emotion, but it's going to be very intense. The matters you have are probably intense. Like, every move you make is important. So I would just say mentally prepare yourself for not really a battle, but just some intense business dealings. And that is what the cards have to say. Okay, I'm going to put these cards back and then I'm going to catch up with chat. And I do hope that helped you out, Crunchy. Let's see. He's Colombian. Crunchy says, it's absolutely not romantic. Lol, he has a partner, and the partner is a lovely male. Ha. That's lovely. That's awesome. Again, absolutely not. And Crunchy Cake says, thank you. You're very welcome. Crunchy says, and that's true. He is in this situation, and Knight of Cups is kind, right? Crunchy says he is definitely the emperor in this situation, honestly, lol. Crunchy says, I can tell you after the reading. Right, I do. And Crunchy says, aw, right. Crunchy says, thank you, you're very welcome. Are you sure it's intense though? Knight of Cups is usually love-based from what I know. I think reversed, it's maybe what you're saying. So I do have to say this about how I read the cards. I don't read them reverse. I only take reversals in account when it's a yes-no question, because reversed is a no and right side up is a yes. Otherwise, reversals don't count in how I read cards. And then Crunchy said, but he is my landlord who's been very gracious, so he's definitely the emperor. Yeah, I'm currently doing my best. I wish you lots of luck. And Crunchy says right. And what I'm saying is, I think right side up, Knight Cups means a cup of love, not necessarily drama, just caring. And thank you. You are very welcome. And these are my interpretation of the cards. If your interpretation of the cards helps you out, that's wonderful. I look at these cards like art. These are meant for interpretation. And I'm here to interpret them for when they come up for me. And if you interpret them in a different way for you, then that helps you out. And Crunchy says, I hear you. All respect intended. Absolutely. And I return all respect. So it's all positive. That's all I gotta say. Nothing negative came up. Just be respectful, and it's gonna be intense. I have still liked the channel. Thank you. X. You're very welcome. I appreciate that. It has been intense. Aha. It's not because it's drama. He's been amazing. It's intense because I'm doing my best. That's all. Absolutely. Intensity is a very different feeling. It's not really a bad or a good feeling. It's just a pressure. There is a certain amount of pressure with the word intense. And Crunchy says that's fair. Valid. Yeah, as far as I can see it, keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. I tend to have positive relationships with my landlords. Actually grateful for that. Lol, and thank you. You are very welcome, and I understand needing that positive interaction with your landlord. Things can go very bad if you don't, so good for you. Good relationships are good. I wish that for you. Okay, and Crunchy says, lol, you definitely need it. Haha. Lol, facts. Yeah, so true. I have also had generally, for the most part, I've had good relationships with my landlord. So it's really awesome. Because they can kind of make your life hell if you don't. And Crunchy Cake says, thank you. I will keep hanging out as others come into the channel. Oh, thank you for hanging out. You're welcome to. And if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them and I'll answer them. I had one landlord once said he had to rub his hole down with oil because of the pain of leaving. Aw, Drama King. Lol. Talk about drama. True. His whole body. Whole body makes more sense. Okay. It was in Asia. Said, okay, you're being dramatic. So when he says rub his whole body down with oil, does he mean like pain oil? Because I know there's topical pain creams. And Crunchy says, lol, yes. Lol, I think he literally meant it, maybe. I don't even know. It was Bali. Lol. Could be anything. He said, it is the pain of you leaving. I must rub my body down with oil. I said, okay, lol. But I adored him. That sounds really sweet. It sounds like a really nice relationship you guys had. And that's really important. Human relationships are really important. And Crunchy says, it was. Smiley face. 100%. Very good. Okay, and I believe, since there aren't any other questions in chat, I am going to do another subject on my list. I can't believe I've only gotten through one subject so far. That's pretty amazing, and I've already been streaming for an hour and 5 minutes. Oh, yes. Crunchy, if you do have another question you may ask. And I would rather do Crunchy's question than do one of my subjects. Just gonna clarify. Because these subjects I have are for backups when there are no questions. But sure, I'd be curious to know what you pick up about my fiance's finances in the next month. What should I know? And thank you. You're very welcome. Be curious to know what you pick up about my finances in the next month. I was just about to ask about romance, but then I thought, nope, moolah. Well, guess what, Crunchy? If you want, you can ask about romance after the finances. And then John says, should I set up an altar for him? I live with my parents, and they're Christian, and I have to be very discreet. Ooh, John, I know how that feels. It burns. I'm sorry, man. Ugh. Alright. So now I will make a list because I will answer Crunchy's question and then I will answer John's question. Okay, so let's. Crunchy says, based on current energy anyway, I know this can always change and awe. Thank you, Violet. John says, he likes precious metals. I have plenty of that. Crunchy says, girl, see, I would donate if this finance question goes well. Working on it for sure. Had a sales call just before this stream. Working on it. Aw. You're sweet, Crunchy. I appreciate that. Crunchy says, heart, John, and everyone watching, please like and subscribe. Yes, please like and subscribe. And John says, I could set up a small altar for him. He's associated with hawks. Very nice. So, gonna go back. I'm going to pause on reading chat and not get distracted anymore. I'm going to do Crunchy's question now. Let's see. What are Crunchy's finances in the next month? What should they know? What should Crunchy know about their finances in the next month? What should Crunchy know about their finances in the next month? What should Crunchy know about their finances in the next month? Okay, which is 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. My golly, this is so on par because it's money in the law of attraction cards. I love perfect timing. I love it. It's just amazing how that works out. Because it's literally about finances. Okay, so what should Crunchy know in the next month about finances? What should Crunchy know about finances in the next month? That was beautiful. Okay. Nothing is more important than that I feel good. Whenever you are feeling less than good, if you will stop and say, nothing is more important than that I feel good. I want to find the reason to feel good. You will always find an improved thought. Anytime you feel negative emotion, you are in the mode of resisting something you want. And that resistance takes its toll on you. It takes its toll on your physical body, and it takes its toll on the amount of wonderful things that you are allowing to come into your experience. So, I know this card is trying to tell us that for finances, you have to feel good, and then the money will flow. I do know that that is what it's trying to say. So nothing is more important than that you feel good, and then the money will flow. Alright, I hope that helps you out, Crunchy. That's for the next month. Keep feeling good. Keep going towards what you're doing. You're doing good. Alright, and then I'm going to go to John's question, and then I'll be able to check chat again. And that was an altar question, I think. John asked, should I set up an altar for him? I live with my parents and the Christian, very discreet. So base question was, should John set up an altar for Seti? That is a tarot card question, a yes or no question. Should John set up an altar for Seti? Should John set up an altar for Seti? Which tarot card deck wants that? Number 3. 1, 2, 3. That is the Gay Tarot. Boop. Okay. Should John set up an altar for Seti? That's a yes/no question. Should John set up an altar for Seti? Should John set up an altar for Seti? That's a definite yes. That's a definite. Alright. Ooh. Ah. The answer is no, because it is reversed. And this card is called Self-Hatred. And it is the Devil in this deck. So there is more detail in this card. The words are just working its way through my system because I'm looking at the picture of this happy family, and I kind of see John as this outlier in the shadows. Since you did mention it is was it Catholic or Christian based family? Yeah, you have a Christian family. So to not put yourself in danger, I would say don't do it at the house. So no, don't set up an altar where they can find it and then persecute you for it or judge you for it. So for a matter of safety, don't set up the altar at the house. And that is the advice I'm getting here. So I hope that helps you out, John. And then I'm going to catch up on chat really soon here. object. Oh, there was so much chat. I'm going to go to here. So John says, I could set up a small altar for him. He's associated with hawks. Crunchy says, oh my god, aw. And Crunchy says, lol, super on par. Yep, me too. John says, and axes. Crunchy says, great tip. What I'm hearing is pay attention to my energy and do whatever is required to stay in a positive vibration. Got it. You got it, Crunchy. I love that you understand it. You got it, man. See, Crunchy says, Crunchy. And Crunchy says, thank you for that, Violet. You were very, very welcome. Crunchy says, my romance question after John's would be, what do you see happening in my love life this year? It's not my immediate priority right now, but wondering this summer, rest of the year. Alright, put Crunchy on the list. I'll ask your romance question after I catch up with chat. And then Crunchy says, otherwise just hanging and we'll be quiet now. Grazie. Grazie? Grazie. And John says, I mean, I got jewelry. And John says, I'll be really discreet. No burning candles. Well, John, I have given you the advice of the cards. It is up to you whether to follow the advice or not to. So I definitely leave it up to you. The cards say it could be dangerous, but if you got ideas of your own, I can't stop you. Alright. So we're going to focus on Crunchy's question now. Romance question after John's. And John says, yeah. I'm going to take a drink of tea because I've been talking for a while. Tea. Okay. Crunchy's romance question would be, what do you see happening in my love life this year? Alright, so Crunchy, and then I see John's other question down here. So you are on the list, John. What is happening in Crunchy's love life this year? I think that's a very... That's a tarot card question. We're going to ask the tarot cards. What is happening in Crunchy's love life this year? What is happening in Crunchy's love life this year? That one, okay. Tarot cards. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Octopus Tarot again. The Octopus Tarot is getting a workout this evening. Okay, what is Crunchy's romance life look like this year? And I'm gonna count that question as like this year as in 2026. So this year, the remaining of this year. What does Crunchy's love life look like this year 2026? 6. What does Crunchy's love life look like for the rest of the year? Ooh, let's see. The universe. Ooh. The universe. I know the universe is one of the major arcana in this deck. And going by the picture and my intuition, since you're not focused in that area, it's a lot. It's very widespread. It's all still jumbled pieces. So I don't see it yet coming to fruition this year. It's all in collection mode, but nothing has been put together. So it's gonna stay kind of floating in stasis and not really pulled together this year. So nothing bad, nothing good, just nothing in motion for Crunchy's love life this year. Alright, I hope that helps you out, Crunchy. Okay, and then John's question. Would Forseti like it if I set up an altar for him? Okay, so we're gonna ask Forseti if Forseti would like it if John set up an altar for him. Would Forseti appreciate an altar for him? Would Forseti like an altar set up for him? That's definitely a tarot card question. Number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, tarot again. Would Forseti like an altar set up for him? Would he appreciate it? Would Forseti appreciate an altar from John? Would Forseti appreciate an altar from John? It's a yes, no question. Even Forseti says no, he would not appreciate it. Now I'm going to try to see if there's details in the card for that. What is coming to me, I know it's the Sun card, but it was reversed for a yes, no question. He's not going to appreciate it because if his altar is brought to the light where you're at, you're going to get in trouble. And that's not going to do well for him. So he does not want... It's literally saying it does not want... Forseti does not want their altar brought to light in the house that is not dedicated to him. He does not want his altar to be some sneaky secret. And in that kind of sense, he feels offended that it would be a little shrine. Like, this is a god. A god wants to be outright worshipped. a little shrine in the dark is not going to please him. His altar needs to be in the sun. It needs to be out in the open. It needs to be big and fancy and beautiful. It should not be shoved in a corner and a secret. And John, I hope that helps you out, because this God is very picky. For every good reason, a God should be. Okay, and then I'm going to get back to chat. And Crunchy says, "Yay, Tarot. Gracias. Teehee. It's working. It's workout." Crunchy says, "Yes." Crunchy says, "This summer through December 26th. Yep. Sounds good. Yeah." And Crunchy says, "Danke. Bitte. Based on that, could we still have a relationship?" Okay, John, I'm going to answer your question. Let's find out. Based on that, could we still have a real relationship? Yeah. I'm going to ask the cards. Tarot card question. That's another yes-no question. So based on that, could John and Forsetti still have a relationship? Based on the previous question about no on the I'm going to call it a shadow altar, because he wants a specific altar. It's got to be shiny and in the sun and out there and just not a secret. But based on that, could John and Forsetti still have a relationship? That's what we want to ask the tarot card deck. This would be number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Witch's Tarot. Based on the previous question, could John and Forsetti still have a relationship? Based on that, could John and Forsetti have a relationship? And that's a yes. You can still have the relationship without the big altar. And it's the Queen of Cups. And cups are emotion. And the Queen is the embodiment of nurturing, supportive. Forsetti is still going to be your supportive teacher and guru. And cups are of emotion. You still have a teacher in Forsetti, even without the altar, if you want the relationship. And Forsetti themselves is very controlled in the emotion. Got a cup, got religious stuff. Yeah. Like, what's popping out at me is the jewelry, actually. So, Actually, since you can't put a big altar out there, Forseti would be very pleased if you wore adornments for them in place of an altar. That would please them. And Forseti would then, I guess, take you under their wing as to be that teacher guru. It's kind of like if you would wear the altar rather than have an altar, that would be okay. But he does not want that altar in the darkness. So yeah, definitely that relationship can still work out. Alright, I hope that helps you out, John. I'm going to return this one to the deck and then catch up on chat. Let's see, John says, I really want to connect with the Norse gods, you know? I'm Norwegian in America. It's my heritage. I feel drawn to it. As you should. As you should. John says, cool. Yeah, it is your heritage. You are fully entitled to worship your heritage. Definitely. Would never want to stop you from that. Alright. I have been streaming for like an hour and a half now. I have half an hour to go. Yay. I stream for about 2 hours at a time. Okay, so if English, I need more tea. I need more tea to English. I'm going. Oh yeah. Hello, first time here. Hi, India Welsh. Hello, India Welsh. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Do you have a question? I have 13 decks. They're very eager to answer any questions. I'm giving India here a chance to reply. I know there's a lag. And John says, can I still leave out things for him, axe jewelry, etc.? Probably not. And John says, will John pace Libra and no contact? I am Sag. Nice. Well, I'm going to answer John's question and then I'm going to get to Indian's question. So I'll make a new list. Awesome. So, and then I will look back at chat afterwards. So John's question is, can I still leave out things for him, axe jewelry, etc.? Probably not. I'm going to ask the tarot cards. Which deck wants to answer John? And then I'll get to India right afterwards. Which deck wants to answer John's question? And that's number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it is a yes or no question. And it's my gay tarot. My gay tarot is going to answer this one. Come here. Come on out. There we go. Should John leave out jewelry? Can John still leave out things for him? Like the axe jewelry? That's a yes-no question. Should John leave out jewelry for Forseti? I can see yes-no question. Should John leave out jewelry for Forseti? Nope. No. Justice. Okay. So with the context, he does not want you leaving things out that will get you in trouble. Because the law of that house is Christian. He doesn't need his apprentice getting in trouble with the Christians. I keep getting the sense that you can wear the jewelry. Don't just leave it out as evidence for the Christians. That is the message I'm getting for you, John. Alright, I hope that helps you out. And then we're going to get to India's question. And then I'll catch up back in chat. And India's question was... Oh, wait, it's in frame. India's question was... Will John Pace Libra and no contact? Will John Pace Libra and no contact? I'm a sag. Okay, so John Pace is the person. Their sign is a Libra. Will they end the no contact? I believe that is the question. Will John Pace end the no contact? That's another yes, no for the tarot cards. So for India, who wants to answer India's question? A tarot card deck. Number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Witch's Tarot. Will John Pace end the no contact? So will John Pace end the no contact? Will John Pace end the no contact? The answer is yes, and I'm going to look in the card for more details. The Knight of Cups. And nights are intense, erratic, action-oriented. Under the influence of emotion, they will end the no contact. It's not going to be a sobbing affair. It's going to be upfronted as a very regal or righteous reason, but the reason is actually emotion. It's just not going to be presented that way. Alright, I hope that helps you out, India. I'm going to return this deck, and then I'm going to look in on chat. Okay, let's see here. India retracted their message. Ah, okay, so So, there's a lot of chat I have to catch up on. I'm gonna drink some tea before I get to that. Ah, tea. Okay. John said, axe, I can buy one at a small one. That might be risky. John says, okay. It's good he still wants a relationship. I was thinking maybe he wouldn't. Can I wear the altar? And India retracted one message, so I can't read it. John says, will Forseti like it if my Christian friend knows I work with Forseti? I don't want to disrespect him or cause issues. I'll put John on the list. I'll get back to you after I catch up on chat. And India says, can you pick up on a time frame, like a week or month? And then India, I'll do yours after John. And then John says, I just have a Christian friend who would really dislike that. Okay. And India says, thank you, and you're very welcome. John says, will Forseti like it if my Christian friend knows I work with Forseti? I'm going to ask the cards. That's a yes or no question for a tarot card deck. Which deck wants to answer John? Will Forseti like it if his Christian friend knows that he works with Forseti? Which deck wants that question? Number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's Gay Tarot. Okay. Will Forseti like it if my Christian friend knows I work with Forseti? Will Forseti like it? Yes or no question? Will Forseti like it? Ooh, that was a good one. Will Forseti like it? Forseti will not like it. So don't tell your Christian friend. And this is the intuitive. And in the regular cards, it is the High Priestess. Because of spiritual conflict and reasons, Forseti does not want to deal with the Christians. Oh, wait. That makes sense of why he kind of sees Jon as the devil and tempting him, because I don't think Forseti really likes Christians. I think there's conflict for Forseti. I do apologize, Jon, but I've made that connection. Forseti is willing to work with you and teach you, but I don't think he has a good history with Christians. I think that is why he's so wary and so careful. There's just something spiritual that is just going to make that a no. He does not want the Christians knowing. Because from the gods' brains to my lips, they say the Christians F up everything. So that is what the card is saying, Jon. I hope that helps you out. And I'm going to put this deck back, and then we're going to do India's. I noticed you. I'm going to do India's question, and that yelling was my phone at me. And then don't worry about it. I love it when my phone yells at me. And then India's question was, can you pick up on a time frame like a week or month? We're going to ask the cards. We're going to ask the cards. I believe this is an all card question. All deck question. I have 13 decks, so one of them has got to have a time frame. A time frame. Just looking back. Time frame of when the no contact will end. Let's see. When will the no contact end? That is for all the decks. When will the no contact end? Number 2, that is the Witch's Turret. When will the no contact end? When will the no contact end? When will it end? Ooh, the Ace of Batons. And batons are wands. Or staves. So, creativity. Ace. Ace. Very long time. Because the Ace in time, let me put it this way. If 10 is the completion of something, and Ace is the beginning of something, it's gonna be a long time before the no contact is ended. So there is right now no frame of reference for that, but this is just the beginning. So it could take months or years. No, not for the no contact to end. So months or years is what we're looking at. And that is what the cards have to say, because this is just the beginning. And that's what the cards have to say. I hope that helps you out, India. I'm going to catch up on the chat after I put this deck away. Clear my noteboard. Clear. There we go. Catch up on chat. And drink tea. Tea. Let's see. And then there's John's question. Okay. Okay, so picking up after India's question. John says, I just have a Christian friend who would really dislike that. Yep. Yep. And India says, thank you. You're very welcome, India. John says, I mean, it's our relationship is none of his business. Exactly. Well, I think he's gonna find out. He might. Could we still have a relationship? Alright, I'll put John back on the board for his question. And John says, yeah, makes sense. I won't say anything anymore. Let's see. India says, that's crazy. India says, may I ask one more question, please? You may. India, you are subscribed. That means you get free readings. I don't put a cap on the amount of readings you can get in my 2-hour sessions. And then Debbie says, hello, beautiful people, Aquarius. Hello, Debbie. Okay, so John says, well, I think he's gonna find out. He might. Could we still have a relationship? I'm still gonna ask John's question, even though he seemed to retract it. Yeah, it makes sense. I won't say anything anymore. To that friend, probably a really good idea. That's crazy. May I ask one more question, please? Debbie said, and again, yes, India, you can ask as many questions as you like. Debbie Kelly says, can you pull a card and tell me how my connection with Taurus would be? So, I'm going to put Debbie on the list. Debbie. And then India says, thank you. What are John Pace's current feelings for me, of any? And then I'm going to put India on here. India again. Cool. So I'm going to get to these 3 and then I'll check back on chat. So in context for John, I'm going to phrase the question for John as, could Forseti and John still have a relationship if the Christian friend finds out? Could John and Forseti have... Yes, I know. Which tarot card deck wants that? That's a yes or no question. Could John and Forseti still have a relationship if his friend finds out? Could John and Forseti still have a relationship if John's Christian friend finds out? Which deck wants to handle that? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Octopus deck again. It's a really good deck for gods. Come on out. Come on out. There we go. Could John and Forseti still have a relationship if the Christian friend finds out? That is a yes/no question. Could John and Forseti still have a relationship if the Christian friend finds out? Nope. That's a no. Now let's see if there's more details. The King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles for that no. There are lots of big feelings here behind this king. There's a long history. And there's the kingdom in the background, which is his realm. He would be very offended if the Christian friend found out. So no, a relationship would not be possible if the Christian friend found out. Forseti just does not want that stress in his life, and frankly, as a god, he's allowed to have that opinion. So don't brag to the Christian friend. Just don't admit it. Don't get the Christian friend involved in any way. Forseti wants nothing to do with the Christian friend. Alright, and that is what the card has to say. There's just too much history. He doesn't like it. Okay, and that's John's question. I'm gonna have a tea, and then I'll get to Debbie's question. There we go. In there. Okay, got John's question. Now Debbie's question. How will the connection with Debbie's Tauros be? How will the connection with Debbie's Tauros be? You know what? I'm going to ask all the decks this. How will the connection with Debbie's Tauros be? How will the connection with Debbie's Tauros be? Oh, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Getting into the vortex for that Tauros. How will the relationship with that Tauros be? How How will the connection with Taurus be? How will the... Fine, be that way. Sorry about that. Terrible break. How will the connection with Debbie's Taurus be? How will the connection with Debbie's Taurus be? Another. How will the connection with Debbie's Taurus be? How will the connection with Debbie's Taurus be? Oh, that's a better one. There we go. Attempting to control others attracts more to be controlled. It's easy to understand how you would come to the conclusion that your path to feeling good is through influencing or controlling the behavior of others. But as you attempt to control them through influence or coercion, you discover that not only can you not contain them, but your attention to them brings more like them into your experience. You simply cannot get to where you want to be by attempting to control or eliminate the unwanted. So, in context with Debbie's question, the connection with the Taurus is something to do with control. Something is very controlling in the connection. I think there might be, since it's not being directed at one, it's not being directed at one or the other, but both, there's trying to be control over one or the other. I'm gonna say that the connection is just a back and forth of that. A back and forth of control. Alright, I hope that helps you out, Debbie. I hope it works out. I'm going to put this back, and then I'm going to get to India's question, and then I'll get back and update with chat. So you got Debbie's, and then India. India. Okay, and what are John Pace's current feelings for India? What deck wants to handle that? I'm going to put it out to all the cards. What are John Pace's feelings for India? What are John Pace's okay, so again, all the cards. Which one wants to answer India's question? Which deck wants to answer India's question? Which deck wants to answer India's question? Which deck wants to answer India's question? Okay, number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be the Prisma Visions deck. Okay, and what are John Pace's current feelings for India? What are John Pace's feelings for India? What are John Pace's Feelings for India. What are John Pace's feelings for India? The moon. The moon is of mystery and intuition and dreams. There's a mystery here. It's focusing on mystery, feeling like India is a mystery. And it's not really like grabby emotions. It's more like questioning emotions, questioning feelings, like what this person is a mystery. So I can't really see there's strong feelings, just like a curiosity and a like India is a mystery to John Pace. And that is what the cards just keep telling me. India's like a mystery. I have no clue what they're saying or doing. Why are they doing this? This is a mystery. Alright, so that is what the cards are saying, India. I hope that helps you out. And then I'm going to catch up with chat. There we go. And then I want tea. And it is been 2 hours and 7 minutes, so we're probably going to close down soon. I am going to check up with chat first. So just let me refresh with tea, check in on chat, and then we'll go from there. Okay, let's see here. Debbie Kelly says, Happy Tarot Card Day today. Yes. Smiley face. Happy Tarot Card Day. India says, is John Pace my soulmate or am I being delusional? Okay. India's question, I do see it. I'm going to put it on the board. India. And John says, yeah, I looked it up. And Debbie says, I'm excited for this meetup with Tauros. Oh, that's good. And John says, the history isn't great. Oh, yeah, it's not good. Like, the feelings are so bad. So toxic. And Debbie Kelly says, snappy. I share control. Back and forth is perfect. Thanks. And John says, is the Christian friend going to find out? Alright, so I got India and John. So here's the dealio, guys. I stream for 2 hours and then it's kind of like my brain and voice kind of stop working after a while. So after these 2 questions, after John's last question, I'm going to probably end the stream. But stick around until the end. I'm going to answer these 2 guys and then I'll say goodbye. We'll get to India's question. Let me find it again. What are John Pace's... did that one. Is John Pace my soulmate or am I being delusional? That is a yes or no question for the tarot cards for India. Who wants to answer India's question? Tarot card deck 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Witch's Tarot. So yes, no for India. Is John Pace India's soulmate? Is John Pace India's soulmate? Okay, well, this is a yes. And I'm trying to see if there are more details than that. It's a soft yes. It's the Two of Swords. Mental. There's because it's swords, it did confirm a soulmate. However, I'm going to say that this is more of a connection of balance of minds with this soulmate. So you're going to have a mind-to-mind connection rather than an emotion-to-emotion relationship. So just keep that in mind. Go a little bit more logical into this relationship. And I wish you well, India. That is what the cards have to say. And then I'm going to go to John's question, and he's my last question for the night. Even though I do love answering questions, I am but in a human vessel, and I can only do so much a night. And then I'll be back in a few hours in the morning. So, yeah. See, John's last question was, is the Christian friend going to find out? I'm going to ask a tarot card deck. Which deck wants to answer John's questions? Tarot card deck is a yes or no. It is a yes or no question. Number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which is tarot? Is getting a workout this night? Yes or no question for John. Is the Christian friend gonna find out? 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 Is the Christian friend going to find out? Okay. Ooh. Yeah. The Christian friend is going to find out. And again, it is the High Priestess. Interesting. It's the High Priestess of a different deck. So, the Christian friend is going to find out. And again, with that high spirituality, there's just a lot of conflict with the high spiritual stuff. Oof. But yeah, the Christian friend will find out if you let him. And then there's going to be spiritual conflict. And this is another major arcana. Alright. Woo. Intense, guys. So I'm going to put this deck away. I'm going to check chat and say goodbye. And any other questions can hold off into other streams. Because, yeah, my brain's starting to go. Okay, John says, yeah, I just had questions about it. I really want to work with deities. And India says, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So happy I came across your channel. I am too. It's very nice to have you here, India. Welcome. I'll turn on post notifications. Yay! Thank you. And John says, I'll try to be discreet. I hope you will. John, I honestly hope this works out for you. I just hope that you stay out of trouble, and because the gods want to work with you. They are just refusing to deal with the Christians anymore. And I think that's very fair. And he, Chroma Lover, says, you have been reading Tarot for 2 hours. Well deserved break time. Absolutely. And thank you all for coming. I really enjoyed today's session. I loved having so many questions. I love the fact that I only got one thing done on my list, and all the rest of it was answering your guys' questions. So that was very special for me. So thank you again all for coming. I'll be back at 5:45 a.m. Eastern Standard, Eastern Pacific? No, Eastern Standard Time. So, I will see you guys in the future. Thank you again for coming. Bye! Bye-bye! Y'all enjoy that one. Yep. Good night. Nighty-night.